Welcome to Driving Immersion for the 2022 season of racing in Formula One. This means new car, new livery, and new tracks.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best, of course, at turn 1, and then another soon after into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into that tight left-hander of turn 10. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, George Russell and Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Ricciardo and Lando Norris, Gasly, Tsunoda, Valtteri Bottas and Joe, Magnussen, Vettel, Mick Schumacher and Alex Albon, Stroll, Surfer Boy, Richard Verschoor and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Yes, new car, new season, new tracks. And judging by the practice sessions, this car is quite a lot to handle. Here is our setup for the race. We're going to add a little bit of fuel, just an extra lap, because we don't know how long this car will last on this fuel. And you can see here that we're starting off with 2 reds and ending with a medium tire. So here we go into our formation lap. Bahrain is a clockwise track with 3 DRS zones and 3 long straights.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
So from the start-finish line we approach turn 1, which is very slow, and you can see here that it's going to be rare that you'll see 2 cars try to go through here at the same time, simply because it's followed by a very quick turn 2 here on the left, turn 3 on the right, which will open to the first DRS zone.
Conditions look stable at the moment, no rain currently expected.
Turn 4 now here to the right, and you are going to let the car come all the way to the left and ride the curb a little bit here on the turn 5. Turn 6 to the right, and you go downhill through turn 7, which is a very slight turn, as you prepare to brake for turn 8, which is going to bring the car all the way down to 2nd gear, maybe 3rd gear, as we accelerate up and out, fighting for traction. And turn 9 is to the left. It's a very quick kink, which will prepare us to slow down for turn 10. Again, a very slow turn that opens up onto the 2nd DRS zone. Through turn 11, which is a sweeping left-hander. And this will be a 4th gear turn. Through turn 12 here to the right. A little bit uphill. Turn 13 here, going to the right. And they will open to the long straight at sector 3. That will bring us to turn 14 here. Again, we're going to let the car come all the way here to the left, touch the curb a little bit through turn 15, which is a very slight kink, and they will take us onto the main straight and the starting grid. There is no training program to judge how do we approach this box, we just approach or encroach onto this lighted box here as close as we can. You can see there that we failed at that. So here we go into start, and in fourth gear we are going to lose traction as we find ourselves at the very back of the field. Right behind our teammate. And so it will be a very long race. This car was about 3 seconds behind most of the field, or the front runners. And it just doesn't seem to have a lot of extra power. So we will depend on endurance here, keeping our tires in good shape.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
Coming through turn 9 and then turn 10 here on the left, we have kept clear of the crowd or the field. No damages, and we're still running. Looking back at Richard Bashir, our teammate for the season, or at least for now. Now back on board with the 66 as we come around 14 and 15 to finish off the lap, and you can see there that our teammate had collided with the car in front of him, which I believe is Sebastian Vettel, and it looks like he's coming in for a new wing. And Vettel also has a broken wing, so he may have collided with his teammate, which is just in front of him, so they are stacked in their pit. Here we go as they exit. We were actually slower, replacing our front wing.
Button and see what you can do.
So this is our livery for the year, and we chose this livery as it can be easily duplicated with the custom livery system within the game, and that way if we wanted to race online we can just verify our files through Steam, and that will actually delete this livery, and which closely matches the livery in the game, and we can use that when we go online. Once we're done racing online, we can come back to the game and we can reinstall this livery for the single-player season. Looking back now from the Williams at the 66. Coming into turn 3, we approach turn 4. He does have his DRS open. 66 should also have DRS available, as we are within 1 second of the Williams here. There we are. Looking back from the 66, you can see that we are pretty close to the Williams. And we are going to try to outbrake him here.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
struggling again from the Williams at the 66. So we have Latifi here in the Alpine. We have our DRS open, which gives us a speed advantage, and we battle him here for turn 1 from the outside. We get him through 2 and 3, and we're up one more car. Now the next car ahead of us is Mick Schumacher and the Haas. Right now we are 1.9 seconds behind. Here we are down the main straight to start lap 5. And lap 5 is going to give us...
Okay, gap to the car ahead is 2.2 seconds.
just the half-life of this set of reds. I believe we are only going to use them for 11 laps, as they will start to decline to the point where we will be losing time. Turn 5, 6, 7. Very sharp number 8 as we go downhill to brake hard, accelerate up. Through turn 9. Through 10 and the back straight.
Front end is starting to push. And my ERS is just not recovering fast enough.
Yeah, so as a new team, we are finding that our systems are not quite what they should be, and our DRS right now is not recovering quickly enough so that we can use some for a speed advantage. And in fact, we are fortunate just to be able to maintain it with the recovery that we're experiencing right now. It's not necessarily a fault or a broken system. However, it is new, so again, it's waiting for an upgrade. And it will be as the season goes on. So lap 6 now, we are 2.2 seconds behind Mick Schumacher, so we did fall back a little bit. And at this point, if he did have these super softs or the red tires on, we may be able to keep up with him or catch up with him, but as you can see, he's got, I believe those are yellows. So our tires will be declining while his will still be at peak or maximum performance. Well, it appears that he might have the white tires on, which are the hard tires, which means they are looking possibly at a one-stop race. Here we are back on board, and you can see that our red tires are worn by about 18%, 22 in the rear. And by the time they're at high 30s, middle 40s, they're certainly marginal that you'd want to get out of these tires.
Not enough DRS.
Turn 14 again. Let the car come out to turn 15. As we accelerate out, we are not in...
The car ahead's starting to create a gap. They're just starting to pull away from us now.
We're not within 1 second of the car ahead of us, so you can see that we are not able to use DRS. And we won't be able to use it here again.
The gap on the car behind by 5/10 a lap.
So you can see the rear tires are 24 and 25% worn, and as we accelerated out of turn 3, you can see that we lost a little bit of traction, so we may just be accelerating too hard. Lost grip again coming out of turn 8. The tire temperatures are indicated there on the steering wheel, and they are a little bit warmer than the front tires, which handle the braking, so we are using the rear tires a little bit harder than we should be. Way off track there. So within a couple of laps, the rear tires have worn from 22 to 27%. And that's just how fast these super softs or the red tires will go. And unfortunately, through the practice sessions, the red tires are probably the most abundance that you could use. You may only get one set of yellows or one set of white tires through the 3 practice sessions. So we don't have a lot of practice using the yellows or the whites in general.
Very slow through there.
So here we are, lap 9. You can see there that we're about 1.1 seconds behind our fastest lap so far. So the tires are declining. So here you can see the display on the lower right hand of the screen that we are checking the pit strategy. And here we can ask or request for more downforce in the front wing. We can do the tires, and we can choose the tires that we want to put on next and divert from the race plan that we had at the start if we needed to. For example, if it rained, or we found that we could keep going a little bit longer on a set of tires and possibly do a one-stop race, which would be certainly advantageous. Lap 11 now, and we should be coming in.
Our gap to the car in front is 4.2 seconds. Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
Carlos Sainz is out of the race. There he is on the left. And that's what the yellow was for. So very slow and careful through turn 13. A little slower than we should be going. Way wide through 14.
I think I let Alvin catch up.
So there's the field ahead of us, and we are racing with them as well as the cars behind us now. So is the 66 going to come in this lap? You can see there that the rear tires in the 40% wear range. Nope, not yet. So here is the race. The car in front of us is the Alfa Romeo, and we are 1.2, 1.3 seconds behind. No, we are 5.8 seconds behind. He is 1.3 seconds behind Mick Schumacher.
Lost sight.
So we are losing time, however, we are staying ahead of the car behind us, and that is Alexander Albon. Through 9, through 10. So the rear tires are now worn 40%. The front tires are 37 and 38. And you can see the timing there on the steering wheel that we are 1.9 seconds behind our fastest lap. 2 seconds now.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap.
We do have a lot of energy stored for us. However, we're not able to go so fast with this set of tires, so we are saving that for the next set. .5 seconds now. We are losing time to the car ahead of us. Here we are. It looks like we're coming in for a tire change. Hard on the brakes.
That stop was slower than we ideally wanted to see.
Now, there's also a strategy for entering
Okay, one stop to go, just one stop left in this strategy.
your pit box, and you can see there that we were off a little bit, so it did cost us a little time, and it's a matter of how quickly and when you turn into the pit box when you come into the pits. Also, there is no training for that. There is no indicator on what you're required to do, except that you are either early or late coming in. So we'll figure that out as the season goes on. Through turn 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you can see there that we have a set of yellow tires. Our original strategy was to go with 2 reds and then a yellow, but the reds started to go off at about lap 10 or 11. And right now we do have a clear track ahead of us, so the race is clear, and we're able to actually go a little bit faster. So when we are looking at the pit strategy, we were changing the strategy of which tires to put on next. So we're gonna go with the yellows here as the track is clear, so we can have a faster speed for a longer or more number of laps during the middle of the race, and hopefully these will last to the end of the race. If not, we do have a second set of reds, which are going to be new tires to finish the race, and that would be probably about 15 laps to the finish. So we can look for a second stop if these yellows are not going to last very long or able to finish the race. Through turn 1. Again, marvelous helicopter views of the track. So for this year, as you can see there
let's
from
see if we can catch the car ahead. Gap currently 5 seconds.
the cockpit, we are using track IR so that we are able to look into the apex like that and look left into the apex like that, as within the game the 15 degrees that it allows us to look to the apex is just not enough, and this actually gives us a little bit better of an immersion, as we can see what a driver or the driver may be looking at when they are circling the track. And turn 10 here is very important for that, as you have to look very far left, and it's a little bit blind when your POV does not turn to the side enough. So again, for this year we are using track IR for our cockpit view. So out on our lonesome, there's a car just ahead of us, just disappearing out of sight as we enter the turns, and that would be, I believe, Alex Albin. And officially at lap 18, we do have our teammate behind us. He is some ways back. Now for 22, you can see there that the car does react a little bit more adversely when going over some curbs as opposed to F1 2021. And there are a lot of times when it will actually move the car off the track or off the course. as you hit the bottom of the car on those curbs. Fortunately, here in Bahrain, we don't have any of the sausage curbs, but we will be experiencing those as the season goes on.
Just not recovering a lot of energy. I don't know, you expect to go fast without recovering energy?
Very clean through 8. We are losing traction though as we accelerate up through turn 10. This is a DRS zone, but there is no car in front of us, so we're not able to activate it. Again, for this race, the car is a little bit slow or feeling slow. Our ERS is down to 21%. I think for F1 2022, the ERS is better used at the higher gears or higher speeds. The car will just absolutely burn through the tires if you're using it through gears 1 through 4.
And gap to the car in front is 7.7 seconds.
So we are maintaining our distance to Alex Albon. Lap 20 now.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 14.8 seconds.
Driver in front.
So we're trying to use the voice command to get some information on the car just ahead of us. And I believe our mic system was not set up.
Just ahead. Push for that position. Okay, gap ahead is 8.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 19 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:38.5.
So you can still manually go through there without using voice commands to get information from the race. But we'll certainly make sure that our mic is set up for the next race, as it's a lot easier to just input a voice command to get information. Yeah, so by the timing here, we are now 8.6 seconds behind Alex Albon. So we have lost about a second or second and a half within the last couple of laps. But right here in the middle portion of the race, what we want to do is we want to maintain our tires and try to stay at a reasonable speed within our fastest lap. One of the things that I used to enjoy with, I believe it was up until 2019, is that you could use the fuel mixture to give you a little boost to go faster in certain portions of the track, or if you're battling with someone. But I believe in 2020 and 21, the fuel mixture is no longer available for the driver to use, so we solely depend on the ERS. Now in 21 and 22, the ERS is semi-automatic. Even if you don't activate the ERS, your car is still using it, as you can see here. The rate is changing. We are down to 11, 14, now back up to 16 as we brake, and it regenerates. As we accelerate out, the car will automatically use the electrical energy. We are also unable to switch from qualifying to, let's say, like a lean use of the electrical energy. So the only time it's used by the driver, activated by the driver, is to gain some boost. And again, for 22, we're experiencing that. We're finding out that we are getting a little bit more speed when we are in 7th and 8th gear, whereas in the past it used to be as you are accelerating out through 2nd, maybe 5th gear. And you can actually hear a change in the engine note as you have that extra power when you're in 7th and 8th gear. 11 seconds now behind Alex Albon. Either he's going faster or we are going slower. Now at the front of the race, there is a race between Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari and Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. And you have both of the Mercedes in 3rd and 4th. Max Verstappen is back to 6th. Perhaps he had made a stop. Back on board with the 66, you can see that our tires are actually still in pretty good shape after a few laps. However, we are not able to go as fast as we don't have as much grip with the Reds. Coming on to lap 24, you can see that lap 23 left us about 1.1 seconds behind.
Our gap to the car in front is 11.6 seconds.
Yuki Tsunoda is out of the session. Does not indicate if he had a failure or an offing on the course. Again, losing traction in 4th gear as we accelerate out. And that's without ERS. So again, for F1 2022, we may be ending up just using the ERS when we are in the higher gears. at least fifth gear. There we are. I believe that was Sonoda as he pulled off. And it looks like a failure and not a crash.
Wow, what's that? Why did my brakes lock up?
Still soldiering on. It looks like Alex Albon has started to go faster. He is within 1.5 seconds of Nicholas Latifi just in front of him, and put us another couple of seconds behind within just the last lap. Still have a clear lap ahead of us. We're able to go as fast as we can, although it's not very fast.
Well, definitely lost a lot of time to Alvin.
So out of the race, Carlos Sainz and Yuki Tsunoda. At the front is Sergio Perez in the Red Bull with George Russell now 10 seconds behind. Max Verstappen is up to third place from sixth, so he is moving along. Looks like Alex Albon had pitted, and he is now behind us, 8 seconds behind. Lap 26 now. As you can see that we are wearing the rear tires a little bit more than the front, even with the yellows or the medium tires here. So we may be just accelerating a little too hard. More tire spin coming out of turn 10. Here's the race from nose cam. You can see that we've got a clear track ahead of us, so let's have a look at our livery. Again, this is modeled after one of the default liveries in the game, so that we can just use that livery when we go online and have this deleted in our system. Fortunately this year, to install a car livery is only 2 steps, so it's not too bad. And it only goes into one place, so it's actually pretty easy this year.
Richard's coming in for his stop.
The story is different with the helmet, in that there are multiple parts in the helmet. So this year we may not be using a custom helmet. We may be using just one from the game. We're using a helmet from the game here, one of the default helmets that we had modified the color in so that we could match the car. And we may be using that throughout this season. Again, because if we decide to go online, that modified helmet will be deleted. If we wanted to play the single player again, then we would have to reinstall that into multiple places and multiple files, so it may not be worth it.
Mick is in the pits.
So Schumacher ahead comes in, and
Okay, gaps.
it is lap 29, so they appear to have used 2 reds, going on to perhaps a yellow or a white tire now. So they had a 2-stop strategy. Here's another graphics to monitor the temperature of the tires and brakes on all corners of the car. Here is the wear indicator as well as damage indicator. For this season we are using the simulation level of damage. There we are. I had checked the strategy for which tire we're going to be putting on if we should decide to come in and when. So right now this set of yellows is in the 20% range of wear at lap 29. So as we're driving along here, we're calculating that the red tires lasted 14 laps, let's say. And this set of yellows, or medium tires, are...
I was looking right now, like we've got a surplus of fuel
they will be
by the end of the race.
experiencing double the life of the red tires.
So
But
the extra weight does cost time.
if that's the case, then we still don't have enough tire to finish the race.
And gap to the car in front is 9.5 seconds.
We're losing time to Latifi.
Yeah, so with his pit stop, Latifi is now behind us. He was some 15 seconds ahead of us before, and you can see there that he is 7.4 seconds behind at this point. Now, if you look at the green number, plus 1.92, that is our surplus fuel. So we did have too much fuel to start the race with. So each liter or each lap of fuel that we have surplus of will cost us time as we circle the track and go on with the race. And we will be looking into that certainly within the practice sessions. Here we are, lap 31. We do have Mick Schumacher ahead of us. We are 13 seconds behind. Latifi is now just 6.8 seconds behind, so within the lap, he had gained about a half a second. Now, at this point, we still do have ERS reserved. You can see there that it goes down to 11%. We could probably use it until it's completely depleted as we circle the track.
Too much fuel, not enough ERS.
So that would be fine if we are driving as we are now with no other cars and we are racing directly with. But if we were racing directly with someone within DRS, we would need more ERS than what we can spend in just one lap. So right now, as you can see the timing on the steering wheel, we're about a half a second faster than our fastest lap. So the car is getting lighter, and we still have a reasonable amount of grip to go fast. Actually, that's how the race should be progressing, is that you should be going faster as the race progresses until your tires are too worn to go faster, in which case you should consider coming in to change out. So we lost time there through 14 and 15. We are able to basically balance our top speed. So looking at the display there on the lower right, we are looking at what time we are expected to come in and change out of these tires. From the first set, we know that we have at least 14 laps, or at the very most 14 laps. So lap 33 here, we should be coming in if we wanted to change out of these within about 5 or 6 laps.
Gap to the car in front is 17.3 seconds.
So looking at the information on lower right, you can see there that we are continuing to wear the rear tires faster than the front tires. And that's why is that we are losing traction as we come out of the tight turns onto the straights. There's our DRS down to 2%. Again, it's being used automatically. Very carefully out of 2, 3, and 4.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
No doubt.
So that 1.95 laps extra fuel, that is about, I believe, 0.6 seconds per lap that we are slower because we are carrying that extra amount of fuel. Actually, 1.2 seconds slower. And I believe it's about 0.6 seconds per extra lap. So we're close to about 1.2 seconds slower as a result of that extra fuel. The race now from the T-Cam as a lot of drivers use to drive through the race. We don't sit on top of the car, so we drive the race from the cockpit. And you can see here that you do get a better look at the track, which is an advantage that, again, you don't get in real life. You're actually able to place your wheels a little bit better from the T-Cam. And this is how a lot of drivers set their fastest laps. But there are no requirements in the game to where you sit. However, if you're looking for an immersive experience, I would suggest sitting in the seats. So Albin is catching up now, 4.3 seconds behind. You can see we have lost time to Mick Schumacher. We do have a lot of extra fuel in the car, and if we were able to use it, we would be going so much faster than we are now. But again, since 2020, we have not been able to change the fuel mixture as we're racing through the course. And I believe that it may have been changed in the game, as it may have changed along with some rules within the Formula One League. But that's kind of a gamble that you take on when you set up the car for the race. Nice panoramic views of the Bahrain racecourse. And we do race at night as a result of the heat, but only partly.
Definitely moving backwards here.
that we race at night here is that so we can broadcast back to the European continent during prime time hours for their viewing. And the fact that it's a little bit cooler at night is just a plus.
So this is the first race. All I gotta do is beat my teammates.
Yes, this is the first race. We don't really expect too much from the car. We're actually just trying to judge how it will make it for the next 90 minutes or 50 laps or so. And all we have to do is beat our teammate. At least be faster than him. Looking on from Alex Albin in the Williams. That is the 66 just ahead. And he is actually pretty close to being in the DRS zone so that he is able to open up his rear wing along the straights. So we'll see how he does. Looking back on the 66, there he is. That is turn 13, coming down to 14 here. We will be making a right-hand turn. So at this point he's actually caught up to us, and we will now have to start using our ERS and our DRS if there's a car ahead of us. It looks like he does not have his DRS open, so he was not within 1 second as we came through turn 2 and 3. But he is definitely catching up. There he is through turn 10. Again, very slow. Accelerating out. He should have it open right now, and you can see that he did get a little bit closer through that straight. Coming through 14, you can see that he's certainly within reach. He should have it open. There we are. And you can see his speed advantage. He is able to get right up to us. He tries on the outside, and we are able to stay with him.
We're losing so much time to him.
But he did chicken out coming through 3. As now he will also be able to use his DRS all the way down to 4, but again, not fast enough. Now he's got a set of white tires, which are actually the hard tires, and at this point of the race, he is faster than our yellows, so that means our yellows have degraded or declined. If he is on his white tires at this point of the race, he will expect to finish the race on those tires.
Got a train coming.
So so we have put a little bit of distance within that lap.
Can't burn extra fuel.
And in fact, he is not able to use his DRS. There he is, between 3 and 4, he is able to use his DRS to get right back to us. Looking out from Alexander Albon in the Williams at the 66, now looking back. There is a weird anomaly right there. You can see that
Accident back there. I think that's a couple of Red Bulls.
the front runners, I believe that would be the Red Bull and Ferrari, came in through 9 and 10. You can see that both of them had spun. It's very possible that in reality they could have just been going too fast. As you can see, they took over Alexander Albon, who's right behind us now, and they did both spin. And I say anomaly because we will see that again.
There's no way I can do more than 15 laps of this. Our race is going to get sour pretty soon here.
Yeah, so it's lap 41, I believe, of 54. And you can see here that our yellows are now in the 40% range as far as wear. So it's nearly time within a lap or two of changing out. We will have to stretch them a little bit. 57 laps. We will have to stretch them out a little bit, another maybe 4 or 5 laps to get back on the reds and be able to finish with reasonable grip and time.
Don't know what happened to my team.
So Albon on the clock is within 1 second of our car, and you can see that he will be able to activate his DRS once we come back onto the main straight. Coming in through 14, and in which case he will have a speed advantage as much as 8 to 10 miles an hour. You see that he's able to catch up to us with the rear wing open. He will look to the outside. And we are able to defend again, and he will back off just a little bit. You can see that Sebastian Vettel has caught up to us. There's Albon going on the outside of turn 4.
Wow.
And I just didn't have enough grip to respond.
Collision with Albon.
So we did bump him a little bit.
There's Vettel.
And you can see here that Vettel is challenging both of us as he sees that he's got an opportunity here as we may push each other into mistake. Now both cars should have DRS available to them. There's Albon. And I switch back and try to outbrake him. However, I'm not able to slow down enough. And you can see there that
And I got the warning for him.
they both pass. And I did get a little hip check from Sebastian Vettel. but I just don't have enough of these tires.
I just don't
Okay,
have
we
the
want you
speed.
to pit this lap, so push now, push. And the gap behind
DRS
us is
wide open and,
2.1
Okay,
seconds.
DRS.
our pit window opens here, and we're actually trying to decide.
And at this point, my yellow tires are very
Actually,
hard.
we've decided already that we're not going to make it on this set, so we will come in and change out of these, which will push us back further. But you can see here that we are losing time to white tires on this set of yellows. We do have the blue flag. That's one of the Ferraris behind us, you can see. And we are waiting for an opportune time to let him by with a quick look just to make sure that we don't let any other cars through, which is something that happens here in the game or in the race.
Okay, blue flag conditions, create a gap and let the car behind through.
So behind me is Latifi and Lance Stroll, so I'm looking for a blue car and a green car. And you can see there that the blue car we are racing with, but the red car, the third car in line there, the Ferrari, we are not racing with. We will have to let him through. There is Latifi moving out of the way. Actually, there's a Red Bull along with the Ferrari that he's racing with. And we will let those two, we'll have to let those two through when they come up.
Okay.
So they both have
So
their
Latifi
DRS
went to
open.
the
They should
pits
have
again.
speed advantages here, and we're just waiting for the right time for them to let
These two
them
cars
through.
I can let go.
There's 1, 2. Don't slow me down. And another couple of Mercedes coming in to lap us. And there's another Red Bull behind them, so now the car that we're racing with is Lance Stroll. And oh, there's the two Mercedes. They both spin
Oh, both of the Mercedes got
in the
into
same
it.
corner as the Ferrari and the Red Bull just a few laps ahead or a few laps back did. So I don't
Green
know.
flag.
That may be something in the game. Certainly it can happen, but it does not in real life.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.5 seconds.
Good thing is we are not racing with either of those two cars. So it didn't really affect us if they spun or not.
Okay, blue flag conditions, create a gap and let the car behind through.
So we start lap 45, but 57 laps. Our pit window is actually open. Here's the Red Bull coming around. I believe it may be Sergio Perez. He did lap us with that pass.
I don't know how we're gonna catch Albin. And actually, I don't know how he got past. Oh yeah, I think he got by with Vettel.
So here we are coming into change out.
Gotta practice those.
Your late turn-in meant we had a slower than planned pit stop, I'm afraid.
Not bad, I'll take a 3-3.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
The pit stops here require that we turn in at the right time. That was a hard bump. And I believe
Who was that,
somebody's
Sonoda?
wing was flying.
He ran into the back of me.
That should be Sonoda if he is behind me. And right now it's showing DNF, so he has broken his wing.
And now he has should have no front wing. Oh, a
There
little
we
nudge
are.
there.
That's him right there. He's actually able to go faster than us with no front wing. As we are trying to figure out if there's a yellow. There is no yellow. He is considered out of the race. No, that's not Sonoda. That may have been Pierre Gasly. Because that is a AlphaTauri. And Sonoda has been actually out of the race. With that last pit stop, we are now last in the race. So I believe this AlphaTauri just in front of us without a front wing is Pierre Gasly, who had slammed into the back of us as we were coming out of the pits into turn 1.
He's got no front wing.
No damage to our car as we're able to continue on.
Blue flag, blue flag.
There we are coming to change out of that wing. It should still be able to continue on with the race.
We're not racing the car behind. Let them pass when you can.
So at this point, the two-stop pit strategy was not an advantage, as we have actually been going too slow to make use of it. When we had the reds, we should have been going faster, but we were not. And it may be that the car's too heavy. So again, these are the things that we will look at for the next race or races ahead in the season. There's the Alfa Romeo coming around with his DRS. That is one of the Mercedes. Again, from 2 laps ago, both of them spun out just behind me coming out of turn 10. Or coming through turn 10. So lap 47 of 57. We're just trying to finish the race. I do have mechanical failures turned on for the race, for the season, so it's possible that we could still have a breakdown of some sort of any kind at this point. Even if we are clear of any of the other cars, we could still
So I don't know how I got to last.
find ourselves not finishing, so
I mean, I think unless
that is still a variable that we have to work with.
he's only got one stop.
And yes, looking at the timing here, you can see that we are 12.7 seconds behind our teammate. And that's not going to be good for our career. Now we let the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo just drive away. We are, however, close enough to the Alfa Romeo here that we may be able to use him for a tow. We won't be able to catch and race with our teammate, but at least we can get a little bit more speed from the car in front of us. A little bit too slow and a little bit too careful coming out of turn 3 there. It is very difficult to accelerate out as grip is a premium, and we have been overusing our rear tires throughout the race. We will have enough tire to finish the race at lap 48, 49. And being in last place, we're not really racing with anyone. We won't be able to catch our teammates, so we're just trying to finish the race. So we still have reasonable speed as we're trying to keep up with the Alfa Romeo just ahead of us. We can use him for his DRS. There we are, within reach again, and you can see our rear wing is open. That will give us a little bit more speed. We are not fast enough to get around, and we're actually not racing with him. He has actually lapped us, but again, because we are able to use our DRS, we are able to gain a little bit more speed. I think we may have actually gained a couple of seconds to our teammate, but again, at lap 50, it's definitely not going to be enough to get back to racing with him. Now with the first race nearly over, I have to say that the handling has improved just a little bit in F1 22 as opposed to F1 2021. Something that a lot of people have a lot of questions with now that EA has taken over Codemasters, and trying to judge how they are going to treat this franchise as they continue on. The main difference, I think, within the driving is that this new car has less grip in the rear as you're accelerating out. The braking is a little bit stronger than last year's. The tires are actually a little bit more reasonable and predictable as far as wear and grip. So that does improve the immersion of the racing. Now, at the end of 2022, there's still no other game that you can go to for the full Formula One experience. The level of detail in the cars, the detail in the tracks, the change in weather, the change in daytime,
Oh, do we have the DRS?
the implementation of pit stops, tire changes, requirements for 2 different compounds, and practice sessions. There's still no other game that comes close.
I think maybe my teammate passed me in the pits.
It's possible that they could probably boost the level of force feedback while you're driving. but a lot of people that pick up this game still don't have a steering wheel. There's still a lot of keyboard and gamepad drivers.
Wow.
And then again,
I think if you go too far out to approach that turn, there's a lot of debris outside, and your brakes just lock up.
when I start a race weekend, I don't spend hours or days trying to come up with a good setup that I could set up fast time in. The setup screens and functions are very easy to figure out on Formula One. I don't have to worry about bound and rebound. It's just stiffness and camber and sway bars. So when I get in the car, I just want it to be able to go fast, and I want to be able to do what I can to make it go through the turn and reach top speed through the straights. So it's still a very accessible game. And I think that's what EA Sports is trying to target as they try to sell more copies as possible. And that's fine.
The front of this car just gave away through the race. I think that's what did us in.
Now back to the race. You can see here that we have 4 laps left to go after crossing the start-finish line. We are at the back of the field. We are behind our teammate by 11 seconds. And our red tires are at their prime right now. However, we're still not able to make up any time on him or the rest of the field. So we're just going to try to finish here. We do have an overabundance of fuel. You can see there that we've got 2.09 extra laps. And if you can remember, at the start we added 1 extra lap of fuel.
A little eager with a blue flag.
So if the race is dry, we could probably leave the fuel strategy the way that it is. If we are going to expect that there's rain, there's going to be a lot of periods where we're going to be running in lean, so that we can accommodate for the wet track. And add less fuel at the beginning of the race. Again, it's about 0.6 seconds per lap for an extra lap of fuel. So that does add up a lot. I think our Achilles tendon here in the first race is going to be the ERS. It just does not recover enough energy. And you can see here that we are at
10.1 seconds.
14%. But if we were to be racing with a car, whether behind us or in front of us, we would...
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
we would burn through that energy within a lap.
Blue flag, blue flag.
Okay, so here we're just letting other cars go by again. The Haas right there, not a very fast car, but you can see there that he was able to lap us in this race. So we've got some work to do. I think in the setup, we may have been able to use more wing. And I think for the next race we'll be doing more training on the yellow tire, perhaps even the hard tire, the white tire. So now 2 more laps to go. We have been lapped, so we won't be doing the full 2 laps. We'll do just another lap after the lead car crosses the start-finish line. So down the main straight to start lap 56, probably our final lap. There we are in the background. You can hear the fireworks going off to indicate the finish of the race. The leader has crossed the start-finish line, and that is going to be Max Verstappen.
Terrible race. Maybe we had a wrong setup. But the car was just not
Okay, gap ahead is 12.4 seconds.
up to par with the
And here you can see on the timing, there is some sort of 5-second penalty for us. I don't know what it was for. Must have missed an indicator on the screen. Or it could have been
Right, race over. Take care
the result of a
car.
collision. Mick Schumacher is the driver of the day.
That's a fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. It just looks so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Mick Schumacher gets my vote today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And Red Bull take over as championship leaders. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
looks like
So not a very satisfactory result for the race. Coming in last place behind our teammate. And we've got a lot of work to do as far as placing the car on the grid, placing the car in the pits, getting our pit strategy together, our fuel strategy, and our setup. And again, that's what most first-year teams will have to do. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, I thank you for spending the time to watch the race. If you like our programming, please give us a like, comment below, and consider subscribing for more. We'll see you next time.